Welcome into the Pro Football Chase podcast. It's Isaac Saenz with you, and joining me for an interview today is Washington tight end Hunter Bryant. Bryant finished his 3-year career at Washington with 85 receptions, 1,394 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So, Hunter, thanks for joining me. How are you doing today?
No, I'm doing really good. I'm excited for this little interview.
Great, man. I know as I was talking to you just now, it's been a little bit of a bizarre time for us in our country, in this world, with everything being shut down. I know that you're dealing with relapses of it, being an NFL prospect and talking with teams and all that stuff. But before we get there, Hunter, let's talk a little bit about how you got to Washington. You came out of Eastside Catholic High School as one of the top recruits in the country. You were a high school All-American. So what was it about the Washington football program that secured your commitment?
Honestly, I think it was just a relationship that I had with the coaches there and that whole coaching staff and really just the players there too. I grew up really just in the area my whole life. My high school was 20 minutes away from the campus, and so I spent a lot of time there and just building a great relationship. And when it came time to choose a school, that just felt like a no-brainer to me.
Did you have a favorite NFL player growing up?
My favorite NFL player was actually Walter Payton. I wasn't around to watch him, but growing up, I'd always watch highlights of him playing. But while I was growing up, it would probably be Des Bryant. That's one of my favorite players.
Throw up the X. That dude's a beast, and still a free agent, hoping to see him catch on with the team ahead of the 2020 season. But Hunter, in terms of your position of being a tight end, did you always play tight end, moving through your middle school and high school, or was that something that you changed as your body developed?
Yeah, up until my sophomore year of high school, from when I started playing, I was a running back. And then once I got to high school, I moved to basically receiver. But I was like a 225-pound receiver in high school. And so once I got to college, I made the transition over to tight end and just fell in love with the position, fell in love with blocking, and I think that's the right fit for me.
Chris Peterson, we know, was the head coach at Washington. I know he stepped down after this past season, and he was really the engineer behind Boise State's success as a program, putting them on the map. How did you enjoy playing for him?
No, I loved it. He's one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life, really, especially in the coaching business, too. You don't find a lot of just real people down to the bone. And I think he was one of the few. And he kind of just implied a culture of just being great men, off the field. And that was his biggest thing, is he wanted to prepare us for when football is going to be done. Because at some point for all of us, the game's going to stop and we're not going to be able to play it anymore. And so he wanted us to be great men and took a lot of pride in that. I think that's really the biggest takeaway I took away from the program. It's just how to conduct myself as a man off the field. And so it's really a blessing to have him as a coach.
That's great to hear coming from a player of your caliber, Hunter. Chris Peterson, and certainly has a lot of respect in the college realm as well as the NFL level as well. So now let's recap your college career there. You got 22 passes for 331, 1 touchdown in your first season, 11 passes, 238 yards, another touchdown. Looked like you dealt with some injuries in your sophomore campaign, and then you really broke out your junior year, 52 receptions, 825 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So let's talk about your evolution in the Huskies offense over 3 years.
Yeah, so I think really my freshman year, I was more of just a pass catcher. I didn't do that. I did block as well, but that wasn't my main role in the offense. And I think I was doing pretty good just implementing myself and showing that I could do more in the offense as the weeks went on. I think my load increased every week that I was playing my freshman year. And then, that season got cut short by an injury. And that lasted really into my sophomore year. And so I missed a good amount of games. I think I missed the first 9 games of my sophomore season, really from an injury that happened my freshman year. And then once I came back, I was just trying to really just get back in the groove of things, find my flow again. I think I had a solid sophomore, the solid 5 games my sophomore year. And then, my junior year, I was just able to play healthy, really for the first time. And so I have a whole season uninterrupted and just had a great time with it.
At 6'2", 248 pounds, what skills and traits make you capable of excelling in the NFL?
I think it's my versatility, really. I think I can do a lot of different things at a high level. I think I can line up in a bunch of different places in the offense and be able to like produce or do whatever a coach wants me to. So I think my versatility is really my biggest trait that sets me apart.
Hunter, I saw that you averaged 16.4 yards per catch during your college career because of your explosiveness as an athlete. Do you feel like you'll be able to translate that big play ability to the next level?
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely one of my goals and one of the things I love about my game personally. It's just what I'm able to do with the ball in my hand. And I mean, I try to be an explosive player. I played running back my whole life. And so when I catch a ball in the open field, it feels like I just broke one loose, like from the backfield, and just got to make a couple guys miss and go make a big play. But, you know, that's definitely one thing I hold. That's definitely like one thing I really am passionate about in my game. It's just my ability as a playmaker.
Hunter, as we know in today's NFL, it's a lot about passing. You're seeing tight ends lined up in the slot. So with the teams that you've encountered and the teams you've been discussing with in the last couple of weeks, has there been any interest in maybe getting you some looks in the slot position? And if so, how open are you to that method?
No, I mean, I think that's what a lot of teams that I've been talking to at least have been looking for. It's just someone who can play in the slot, but like more importantly, they want me as like a tight end, as someone who can block and run block and then be moved out from inline to the slot to create mismatches. So I think first it comes like just from a blocking aspect, but they do like me because they can, or they feel like they can split me out into the slot and create open field mismatches for me to work with.
What type of study habits do you possess? You know, how do you ensure that you're always one step ahead of your opponents?
Really, it's just a lot of time watching tape, a lot of time in the playbook, and then the installs, and really just making sure you know everything about your offense so you can just play at a high level and don't have to think. I think that's one thing that my coach, or Coach Powell, did at UW, our tight ends coach, is he was really detail-oriented. And because we had a lot of stuff in our offense. We had a lot of different things to do, whether it was shifts and motions, and we're getting everything from the sideline. And so we just had to be really detailed in everything he did, everything that we did. I think he installed that in us.
You worked out at the NFL Combine. You had a 4.7 440, 32.5-inch vertical, 115-inch broad jump, among many other results there. Put up 23 reps on the bench press. Can you talk about your experience there at the Combine, how content you were with your workout?
Yes, really just the Combine was like a dream come true. I remember growing up watching it and just always dreaming of like being there at one point in my life. And then I was able to spend really the 5 or 6 days that we spent there just going through everything and all the medical evals and interviews with the coaches and psychological testing. And then, finally we were on the field working out. And I wasn't extremely pleased with my numbers that I put up, but I think my on-field workout, like all the routes that I ran, were really smooth and just looked good on field. So I'm overall happy with my performance at the Combine.
The Washington Pro Day was canceled because of the coronavirus outbreak. So have you already had your own Pro Day, or are you making plans to have that in the coming days?
I haven't made any plans yet, as of yet, but I'm really just playing things by ear right now and seeing what's going to happen with everything. And then, really, I'm ready whenever anyone needs me.
Who have you been training with, Hunter, these last couple of weeks, and what does your training regimen look like?
I've been training with Tracy Ford at Ford Sports Performance in Bellevue, Washington. And then really training there is simple, more or less. I get in there at 6:30 or 7, get some treatment, stretch out, and then really spend 2 to 3 hours there working out, and then get on the drug machines after, and then Normatec and cold tub and spend the rest of the day relaxing since everything's shut down. Can't really do a lot.
Yeah. Now, Hunter, I want to ask you, how are you feeling physically? I know that you briefly talked about some injuries that you dealt with at Washington. Right now, as you're preparing for the NFL, how has your body responded to the treatment, to the workouts, and how is it helping you mentally prepare for what's ahead?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think after I was able to get time away from football and kind of start taking care of my body and getting everything healthy, this is really the healthiest I've been since my injury first occurred my freshman year. And so really I feel great right now, just getting ready to go to the NFL and try to do what I do.
And what is your message to NFL personnel that are still looking to learn more about your character, your motivation, and your work ethic?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a extremely tough individual. I think I'm pretty tough, and then really play through everything and play with everything. I think really one of the biggest things about me is I genuinely just want to be the best version of myself. And so I'm not going out there playing for a check. Like, I don't really care about the financial terms that could come from it. But really, I just want to be the best football player I can be. And I've been doing this for so long, and I genuinely care about being great. Like, I'm just put the work in to be the best version of myself and just go compete every practice and every game.
I know Washington has put out quite a bit of NFL players. Byron Murphy, the corner to Arizona. You look at Sidney Jones a couple years ago and Dante Pettis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you talked to any of those former Washington alumni that are in the NFL about what to expect during this process?
Yeah, I have, and it's been cool to have that connection, especially at UW, just to a lot of active players like in the NFL that you grow relationships with while you're playing, and then you can still hit them up once they're in the league. So I've been talking to them before the combine and really in the past couple of weeks, just trying to figure out what to expect from this whole process. And really, a lot of the messages is just to keep my head down and keep working and keep grinding and keep all the outside noise just away and just control what I can control.
Well, Hunter, I appreciate you again, man, taking the time this afternoon to join the podcast. I wish you nothing but the best moving forward, man. Keep up the hard work, and I hope that the right opportunity surfaces for you during draft night.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Blessings and take care.
All right, peace.